Rush from our 30th anniversary tour, fall of 2004, recorded in Europe, and man, those guys haven't lost anything. It's KPOI Honolulu 105.9, The Big Kahuna, and Dave Lawrence. We're doing the Workforce Afternoon. I hope it's Good Friday for you. Today, I get to welcome back to the air and welcome to the studio for his first ever visit here in the studio with us, a legendary pop culture icon. He's famous in film and TV, on record, in print, and on stage tonight at the Blaisdell Concert Hall. It's a great pleasure and an honor to introduce Tommy Chong. Aloha, brother.
Hey, thank you very much for that eloquent introduction.
You're quite worthy.
I deserve it.
Yes, you do.
I really do.
It's great to
in
see
print.
you.
I like when you say in print too.
Well, you're in you're like the king of all media.
I got a book. Yeah. In fact, the king of all media, Howard, is. We're doing a show in August to release the book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he likes it. He's the only one that does like it, though. Jay Leno and everybody else, they don't want me on their show, but that's okay.
Because of the book or just in general?
No idea. I'm going to check it out, because I was talking trash about Jay Leno when I was in jail. And then Jay called my wife, and then he had me on the show after, So I guess I have to start talking trash about Leno again.
What were you saying about him when you were in jail?
Oh, just that, he just... I can't really tell you.
That will just
we're on air. I don't want to.
We don't want to blow the good vibe.
I don't want to blow. Yeah, that's exactly it, man. It's hard to get upset in this country, isn't it?
No, you don't want to get upset.
Hawaii is so mellow.
Yeah.
And it's not the weed either, man.
It's just the vibe.
Because I've been here straight before. It's just as mellow when you're straight, too,
How long of a history do you have here with Hawaii?
Oh, I go back to, I guess, 70, 71, something like that.
Before Hawaii's natural high, even?
Oh, yeah. yeah. I go back quite a ways. A lot of people thought I'm from here, and I let them think that, What the heck?
It's good for the...
Well, the Chong, mixed, half Chinese, that automatically makes me Hawaiian citizen.
Right, honorary Hawaiian citizen.
Yeah, automatically. Yeah.
And so that's cool that you have. I didn't realize that are there copies of this book already out and people are able to read them? And
there are some galleys that were given around, but it gets released officially August 8th.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because I was like, wow, how are people already commenting on it? The book that Tommy's talking about, the I Chong, Meditations from the Joint.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
A nice play on words. I like that.
Yeah.
And you actually, is it co-written by you or written?
No, I wrote it all.
The whole thing?
I wrote it all.
And not cleaned up by somebody else or anything?
Well, the editor fixed it up. The Trish from Simon & Schuster, she really helped me. But no, it's all me. I tried to get a ghostwriter, but... they wanted money.
Right.
It's weird. It's hard to get people to work for nothing nowadays.
It is.
Not like the old days, I tell them they're an intern, you're a writer intern, so you write the book and you don't get anything. I get all the credit. But I can't get anybody to go for that anymore.
It's not like the old days.
Yeah, especially radio interns, huh?
Right. Well, that's a big source of free labor. Legendary one, actually.
Intelligent free labor, too.
A variety of kinds.
I'll eat a bug. What else do you want me to do?
Right.
Oh, God.
That's very true about this business, for sure. Or I guess about show business in general.
Well, kind of, The only guy that I know that probably treats his employees better than anybody is Greg at
Hawaii's Natural High?
Hawaii's Natural High.
From all his ads and stuff, I think a lot of listeners think you're one of his employees because it's like there's such a connection between...
Employees? I'm one of the owners.
Yeah, right. You're on the board of directors.
Yeah, they think I own...
You're the CEO.
Yeah, especially the DEA,
Oh, is that what they think?
Yeah. There's the hotel I'm staying at, there's a DEA convention going on.
Oh, is they really?
Yeah. So I got to meet these idiots in the elevator.
Did they recognize you?
Probably. I don't know. The EA guys are kind of stupid. I don't know. They're probably telling each other, hey, there's a guy that looks just like Tommy Chong. But that's another thing I like about Hawaii. I look like a lot of people.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're here, you blend in really well.
I blend so nice. I love it.
So there really is a DEA convention going on? They actually have those? And they come here, of all places.
Of course.
That makes sense.
When I was in Palau, you know where Palau is?
Yeah.
Off the coast of Guam? Or,
small island, right.
In the Marianas. I got a call from the DEA guy that was stationed in Palau, and he wanted to hang out. It's like, hey, Chong, yeah, I'm the DEA guy, and can we hook up? You know, he was lonely, you know.
And you would be someone familiar.
Yeah.
Warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, like I'm going to, hobnob with those idiots. Palau's got a great system.
What were you there for?
Performing.
Oh, gigging.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was gigging. We did a gig in Guam. It was about 93, 94 around
Okay.
there. And they said, you got to come to Palau. There's 400 or 500 islands, and they're mostly uninhabited. There's about 2, I think, that are, built up. And the rest are just uninhabited. And they're beautiful, beautiful place. It's where the Japanese catch the tuna for the sushi bars around the world. And the tuna boats will line up for like a mile, nothing but tuna boats. And it's a paradise.
Unless you're a tuna fish.
Yeah. Well, even then, there's so much action going on in the water, everything. And it's a home of like giant turtles and fruit bats. Ever heard of these big fruit bats? They're as big as eagles.
Wow.
And they live in the trees and they live off fruit. And there's all these weird, beautiful islands, and it's so sweet. Anyway, in '66, the Peace Corps came by, and they turned all the natives onto pot. Before they were all chewing betel nuts, that stuff that messes your teeth up.
Right.
And so they said, hey, try this. And so the Palauans took the pot they loved it. And so the DEA had to go there because it's an American protectorate. It's not an American state, but America's responsible for the whole thing.
Part of the empire.
So the DEA went there, and they gave the Palauan government $1 million a year to eradicate the pot plants. And so what the Palauans do, they grow 2 crops. They grow 1 crop for the DEA to eradicate, and then they grow another crop, I guess, from the ashes of the first crop for the smokers
that they keep.
Yeah, so they get money, get paid for burning it, and they get then they got their pot. And it's what do you call it? When the women are in charge, what's that word?
Matriarchy?
Matriarchy society. Yeah, the women run everything there. And the guys, they're like me. They sit around and carve. They carve wood and get high.
And puff.
And they puff. And they got these, their houses, they have no furniture in the houses. Just, they got a TV set, and they sit on the floor. They do everything on the floor. They got mats, they eat, everything.
No furniture, but TV.
No furniture, but they got a TV set sitting there. and they grow tapioca. Have you ever seen it?
I've just had the pudding, I guess.
Yeah, but that's what, that's
the origins of that.
The diet.
Okay.
The main diet. And of course, they're, kind of hefty, big mokes, but what a great place. If you ever get a chance, man, I suggest. And the weather and everything is so beautiful. And you could live off the beach. There's clams and oysters and all sorts of goodies. You just pick it up, eat it.
And it's very fresh.
Yeah, very fresh and good. Well, anyway, we had a good time there.
And the DEA is there. They seem to be everywhere.
Yeah, the guy called me up and he wanted to hang out.
That's fascinating that, in the most remote places, and checking in with you, of all people, too.
Yeah, I heard I was there. Well, when it's so remote that when mainlanders come there, everybody knows about it.
Okay.
Because, it starts with the airliners, the people that check in, they go, hey, guess who's coming? They phone their relatives or whatever. And it was one of those airliners where, they got their belongings, the chickens, the live chickens and stuff.
That they're bringing on the plane.
Carry on.
Kind of a rustic flight.
Stuff. And what they'll do, they'll tell you, you better get to the airport early. We may be leaving early. Like if a plane leaves at 10, if it's scheduled to leave at 10, and if they feel like, let's go, it's 9:30, everybody here, I don't know, let's go, and they'll leave.
Just casual kind of time like that.
It's that island life, man, and it still exists,
It's got a little slice of that.
Oh, yeah,
still there.
And there's another island, I think 200 miles south of it, called Yap, Y-A-P.
What's that all about?
And that's the
You
same
played
thing.
there too?
No, never played there, but it's the best diving in the world apparently. And the women still walk around, bare-chested. They go back to that time. And the great thing about Yap used to deal with Palau, and they would carve money out of limestone. and the limestone boulders would be like 5 foot high with a big center, It's not the kind of change you could carry in your pocket, But it was money. Have you ever heard of limestone money?
Not of that size.
Have you ever heard of it? Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. And the carving I have at home is about the limestone money, and it's a whole.
Did you you got a souvenir back from there too?
I went to the jail. That's where the carvers are. They're inmates in the jail, and what they do, they carve and they sell their stuff at the gift shop.
Okay.
And it's like a tourist attraction. If you're in Palau, you go to the jail to buy your carvings. And because all the people, the inmates in there, they got nothing to do, sit around and carve. And it's great carvings. It's a great place.
So some cats carve when they're in jail. You wrote. Is that basically?
I carved too.
You carved?
Yeah, I did a little carving. Yeah.
What were you carving?
Well, I was in a place called Taft, and it's on a high desert. And
where was that? Actually?
It's outside of Bakersfield, California,
okay.
And it's in the upper desert. And it's the desert floor. The ground had all these beautiful rocks, from volcanic eruptions, millions of years ago. And some of the rocks were pumice, that stuff they use for fixing your fingernails.
Yeah,
or
for
whatever.
filing and stuff.
Yeah, pumice. And pumice, what it is, it's solidified volcanic ash.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only rock that floats. You can put pumice in the water and it would float. And it's so light. And it's easy to carve. And so I would find hunks of pumice around, and then I'd get some. I knew the guys in the metal shop, so I'd go there and they'd make me tools. Or
Nice.
I'd have tools. You're not supposed to have it in jail, of course.
You were like a celebrity there.
I could do anything.
You could. You were kind of free.
I almost got away with everything except the guard. But the weekend of my sentence, because everybody, come on over and work with us, or be over here, and come on out to the garden, And so I went out to the garden, and the garden was beautiful. It's big. When you're in the garden, you don't even know that you're in jail. Fruit trees and all sorts of great produce, and the best growers, because all the pot growers were there. They ran the garden. So I would lose myself in the garden. Well, the trouble is you have to be counted every 4 hours, and you have to be back by your bunk standing, like in jail.
Right.
And I missed a count, so next thing I know, I hear my name over the loudspeaker, and then I went back there, and the CO, he's like an army guy, he's, Chong, what are you doing? Well, I was in the garden. You missed a count. Yeah, I was in the garden, man, I didn't hear any. I'm a little deaf, The guy goes, what? I says, yeah, I'm a little deaf. And he goes, okay, well, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be, what's your job? Like I'm in the army, I said, I just pulled out that old stoner card whenever I needed to.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And it worked?
Yeah, I'm supposed to sweep up, so so that was my job, sweeping cigarette butts. But I could do anything I wanted, and I just tripped around everywhere.
How shocking for some of the cats in there to turn around and be like, I think that's Tommy Chong.
Oh no, they knew.
Because the word traveled in there too the same way.
They knew I was coming to Taft before I knew.
In advance. Right?
Oh yeah, they knew before the guards knew. The prisoners run everything in jail, because they do all the clerical work.
Okay.
And most of them are, in fact, I would say 99% of them are way smarter than the warden even, I mean, these guys, I was in there there's 8 doctors, 2 specialists. One guy was an eye specialist. He owned the LASIK eye surgery centers.
Oh, wow.
And another guy was an AIDS specialist. And he was, a renowned guy with papers. And then I was in there, a doctor of orthopedic surgery that used to be the head of orthopedic surgery in UCLA. And he was like...
He was in the jail.
Yeah, decorated war hero. He was
doing
older.
time.
Yeah, he was doing 2 years because he fought an income tax thing. He was in a tax shelter, and then they decided, that's an illegal tax shelter after they took, after all these years, and then they slapped a $10 million thing on him, and he couldn't pay it, and he fought it, and if you fight the feds, they'll put you in jail, and he got 2 years in jail. And there's a guy. He was Reagan's speechwriter, President Reagan's speechwriter.
In there.
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah.
What a potpourri of.
Oh yeah, well it's
stuff.
a white collar celebrity
place,
jail.
right?
Yeah, that's where George Bush and the boys will be going when they get caught.
How long were you in there?
I was in. Well, I did 9 months. I did 8 months in behind the gate, and 1 month in a halfway house.
Yeah, does any of that, the Marijuana Log show, does it incorporate some of it?
A little
or
bit.
Just a tiny. We had talked before when you were on the phone. You keep
Yeah.
you keep that kind of separate.
Well, with the monologues is more of a monologue. You know, it's strictly about the fun and games of pot. You know, all sorts of different angles of pot. But I with me, I managed to stick a little bit of it in.
Sure, and work it in.
But in my live act with my wife, that's when my wife does Shelby. She does her whole act is about me, what she did when I was incarcerated, which is very funny.
So it's like more based on that than.
Yeah, totally.
That's what you said. Well, it's going to be huge having this tonight, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you interacting with these other cats. Are there 3 other dudes on?
Yeah, there's 2 others, Tony Kamen and Doug Benson, and I got to tell everybody, man, that you don't want to miss this show, because if you do, you'll become sterile. You won't be able to have babies. You won't be able to get high anymore. The pot won't taste right. Because that's how good our show is. You have to see it. And Greg is a promoter, and he was such a sweet guy, to put everything he owned up against this one concert. And if you don't come, Greg will have to, leave town in a hurry.
We'll have to hustle on out of here.
Yeah.
Well, we're really looking forward to it.
Greg is a great guy, and he's Hawaii's Natural High is probably the only head shop that I would ever go to in Hawaii.
Dude, so many people associate you with it. It's crazy.
I know.
It's I'll be in there talking to them, and cats will just keep coming in and coming up to the counter. I saw the ad with Chong. Is he here? Is it his store? It's such a thing.
And I know Greg will say, yeah. He just stepped out for a minute.
He's getting a sandwich.
He'll be right back.
But you buy some stuff in the meantime.
Yeah.
Greg does work it. Well, it'll be cool. It'll be a lot of fun, Tommy. And
okay.
Thanks for making it your business to come by and hang.
Oh, anytime, man. I love this show. This is a good show. We were listening to it all yesterday.
Oh, were you?
You were driving around with Greg.
And you hear me saying hi to you?
Oh, yeah. We heard you talking all about it, yeah. And I love the music you play. It's
Thank you, dude.
back in my era,
Yeah, it's the good old stuff.
Yeah, I can even recognize some of the names.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I've been telling listeners I had last gotten to work with you back in 1998, so it's been 8 years, I can't believe,
Wow.
since I've actually seen you in the flesh again. So it's
time goes by when you're getting old, When you get a certain age, next thing you know, 10 years went by?
I know.
I can't believe it. 20 years? 30
It
years?
increases like that.
Yeah, it's just that fast.
It's
I got a
speed.
little grandson. He's 13 months, and just to have it, watching him.
What's his name?
Jack.
That's not from Ray Dawn.
No,
okay.
It's from Precious, my youngest daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, Precious, and a guy named Jack Berger. No, Wes Berger. And so my son's name is Jack Berger, like the character on Sex and the City. Carrie had a boyfriend named Jack Berger.
Or he could be like in a Jack in the Box ad or something to make a whole bunch of dough someday.
Well, he's really good. He's a ham. You put a camera anywhere near him, and he does all his tricks.
Runs in the family.
Yeah, but watching him grow, and I'm a granddaddy now, and I keep thinking, when he's 20, well, I won't care anymore. I'll be that guy who's sitting in the corner where they talk in front of him, They walk over and wipe off the spittle on the side of his mouth every now and then.
Man.
That'll be me.
Not yet.
But I'll have my bong right beside me.
From Hawaii's Natural High.
Yeah, well, from Malia. Yeah, she made me. She's from the Big Island, and she's I got a movie out coming out called AKA Tommy Chong, and in the movie my son laughs about my crazy ideas, and he talks about my idea. I want to make $1 million bong, bong that's worth $1 million, and that's the lady sitting right there that's going to do it for me.
And then you'll be selling that, and
No, well, we'll find some rich Persian, that'll buy it, or somebody. But it's going to have, what do you call it, rare diamonds and rubies and all that stuff.
Encrusted in it,
and gold around the lips where you put your lips. It's going to be cool, man.
I dig that. You're an animal. He is tonight at the Blaisdell Concert Hall, and tickets are on sale now. I encourage you to get some and be part of the magic of Tommy Chong with the Marijuana Log Show. And a pleasure having you here on 105.9 with me too, brother.
Thanks, bro.
You're quite welcome.
Aloha, it's Tommy Chong with my man Dave Lawrence.